On today's episode, we're going to talk about how to create an effective sales process that closes your ideal customers. And when you are able to implement this, you'll see your close rate increase. You'll see that you're selling to better, more profitable customers. And you'll actually have a process that helps you continually increase your own sales ability and that of anybody on your team that's selling for you. So I'm excited to share this with you today. So stay tuned and we'll get right into it. I'm Gabe Arnold, and this is the Green Mountain Podcast. We are the champions who brave the elements to create beauty. We see chaos and create order. We are never afraid of hard work, and we understand the power of strategic thinking and intentional actions. We come from all walks of life, and we will never allow our past to determine our future potential. We create beauty around the homes of our customers and increase the value of our community with the work that we do every day. We understand the power of consistent branding because it helps us grow and serve all those around us. We practice effective sales so our company, employees, and community can benefit from the value we add. We intentionally invest in operational habits that help us deliver excellent results to our customers on a continual basis. We understand that powerful and beautiful things take time to grow, and with consistent watering and intention, amazing results can happen. We are committed to making the world a better place by being positive examples to all those around us. We don't allow anyone to look down on us because we know the value we bring to our community as leaders. We create positive workplaces for our employees so they feel safe and supported, and at the same time, we hold ourselves to high standards. We pursue excellence on a daily basis because we know the journey is worth the sacrifice. We are the protectors of the land. We are the guardians of beauty. We are the heroes. We are landscapers. One of the things that I love about sales that I've heard said many times, and I believe to be true, is that sales is the oldest profession in the world. And another thing that I've heard folks say is that it doesn't matter how long you've been in sales, you can always grow and improve. And both of those things I believe to be true. And when we think about having effective sales inside of our business, a lot of times early on for me, and a lot of times when I talk to clients, even when they have a growing business, they haven't really determined or defined what effective sales actually means. I remember one time when I was 11 or 12 years old, it's probably fairly young. And my grandfather took me out to a job where we were going to build a retaining wall for a client. And we pulled in and the customer came out. We'd done work for them in the past and they wanted to have more work done. And the customer came out and they said, here's what I want. And then they said to my grandfather, whose name was Ray, they said, how much do you think it's going to cost? My grandfather said, well, why don't you just hand me your checkbook and I'll write in the amount for you. And he said that with a smile and a chuckle. But the customer actually did hand him her checkbook. And it was one of the more amazing moments that I've experienced. And they ended up doing the work and being very pleased with it. Ended up being a very profitable job. But it was one of my first exposures to really observing what an effective sales process looked like. And so for you, if you're like me, you probably picked up sales from watching other people. Some people have had sales training and I've had plenty of sales training at this point too. But early on, I just watched my grandfather sell and then I just did what he did. And that was very effective for me early on because I was able to model after what he did. I was able to sell the same things he did. But as I grew in sales and I got into different industries, had different companies over the years, and had a lot more experiences, I started to realize that all my sales work and everything I did in sales was just very intuitive and internalized, but I didn't actually know what I was doing. I just kind of rolled with it each time. And maybe you can relate to that, maybe you can't. But regardless, what I'd encourage you to do is as the first step to improving your sales and having an effective sales process is start to just document how you do it now. So as an example, you're thinking through, okay, when a new lead comes in, I get a new call or an email or somebody contacts me on social media or wherever I'm hearing from a new prospect, that's when the sales process starts. So what do you do first? Do you make an effort to call them back immediately? Do you wait and reach out the next day? Like, what do you find works the best for you? So how do you reach out? What do you say? Do you give them budgets over the phone or do you go out on site? Do you use our 90% close rate process, which we talk about on the show here a little bit, a couple episodes back? Or Do you show up and give a free proposal? As you think through all the different steps you take, what's important is to just document what you do now. And then that way you have a baseline to know, okay, here's my current process from the first follow-up call to, when I meet them in person, to writing the proposal. How do I present it? Do I have any pricing strategy? What are all the pieces that you use? And once you have those things nailed down, then you can start to review it for a couple purposes. One, you can say, okay, what areas of this go really well and I want to keep, and what areas feel a little bit rough, or do I feel uncomfortable when I'm, showing up to present that? So once you've kind of documented the process that you use now, and like I said, you'll identify which things go really well that you just want to keep as is, or where are you feeling uncomfortable. Then you're able to say, okay, here's the areas I'm uncomfortable. Why am I uncomfortable? Is this a belief about money I have? Have I had some bad experiences in this part of the sales process, whether making that first call or presenting the deal? Whatever it might be, you can just self-reflect and make notes, and it will bring more awareness to how you show up in the conversation. One of the things that I've had clients do in the past, and definitely make sure you understand what your local and legal, aspects of this are. I do recommend that you speak to an attorney before doing something like this, but if it is allowed and legal, then you can turn on the recorder on your phone, put it in your pocket, and you can record your whole sales conversation, especially your in-person presentations. And the point of that is never to share that or use it anywhere else, but just to re-review it for yourself and ask yourself, am I saying things like, or am I stuttering or stalling? When we do that, we're not necessarily portraying confidence and expertise, because confident people act confident to be confident. They're not always confident first, and eventually you are confident, so you act confident. But confidence is just a learned skill and a practice. So if you evaluate and you listen to one of your presentations, you'll likely find some spots that aren't as smooth as you want. The other thing to pay attention to is you can look at what is the energy you're bringing to the situation. Are you allowing a long, difficult day on a job to impact how you show up on that, for that presentation? Or when you call somebody back, are you in a focused place? Can you focus on them and really listen intently? And if you show up with a positive energy and like you're genuinely interested to meet them, you want to help them, and you bring that energy to that appointment, then that has a huge impact. I was on a sales call earlier today with somebody that was trying to sell me something. And while they covered the basics and the details, and I understood the process and what they were trying to sell me, they were very flat. There was not a lot of excitement. They were sitting back, they weren't engaged in the conversation. And because of that, I didn't feel the level of connection that I would if they were a little bit more enthusiastic in a way that was natural to them. And so thinking about the energy that you bring to a call, the energy you bring to a presentation, that's another thing to really pay attention to, because we pay attention more to body language and tone of our voice than we do the actual words that are being said. When I think about the great clients that we work with in the landscaping space, the ones that are really growing always show up on a phone call, in an in-person presentation, and as they're working with their employees, they show up with that positive energy, that positive attitude, and it's contagious. All of us want to be around people that make us feel better. And so when we show up with that energy on a sales call, that's how we can pass that energy, that excitement, and it continues to build trust. So first thing in really making your sales even more effective is document what you do. And then the second thing is review it, and review it for yourself to start. There'll be clear things that you can see yourself, but also ask somebody who's a little more seasoned in sales, somebody that's done, home services sales, or somebody that, has sold in your space, or honestly, anybody that's been in sales for more than 10 years. They'll just be able to pick things up and go, oh, maybe you approach it differently this way. Getting some outside input is really going to help you move forward as well. The third thing that I always encourage everyone to do is they want to level up their sales and be more effective in it is on a consistent basis, whether it's every month or every quarter, make sure you're reading a new sales book. Listen to our podcast so you get new ideas there. Take a new sales training, whatever it is. You're going to be able to level up your sales ability, and you're going to close more deals, and you're going to be more effective in it if you make it a continual investment over time. It's not something where you take one sales class or you read one sales book or you watch a few things on YouTube and that's it. It's the mindset of how do I keep improving? How do I learn, a new approach that's going to be effective? Or how do I even explore other industries and how they sell so that I can apply that in my own industry? there are plenty of times when we go outside of our industry that we get even better, support and ideas and results. And that's what helps us move forward. So that's what I recommend to help you have more effective sales. This is definitely something that we offer a ton of support and training for our clients when they're part of our mastermind and our other programs. You can head over to landscapemarketinghero.com to learn more, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode. If you're ready to begin your journey up the Green Mountain, where we show you how to build a low-stress, high-profit, $10 million per year landscaping company, then head over to landscapemarketinghero.com to download your free growth map. One of our guides will be there to help you along the way. Again, that's landscapemarketinghero.com.